Discount, there will be no such thing in this chat, mister. Or I'll ground you. What? Why are you saying this? Why are you saying this terrible thing? Oh, I'm gonna get sick again because I went and walked outside and it's really fucking cold. Like, really cold. So, that was terrible. Let's not get sick again. You said you're gonna kill Steve? Steve actually deserves it. Listen. I don't know what you're listening for. You wanna see it? No, I don't want to see it. It's like my gift for beating it. You goddamn idiot. Don't call me an idiot. What's up, Marin? I was forced to walk outside by Gabe. Discount. Swear to fuck. Alright, what's up, everybody? Here I am. I'm alive. I'm glad you guys are alive. Doing perlers? Nice. Nice to hear. Alright, we did Water Temple last time, so we're fucking done with that. Thank God. But now we're here. Great. I honestly don't even remember this that much. Like, I don't remember if it's a pain in the ass or not. But we haven't been a kid for a long time, so... what do we even use as a kid? Nuts. Sticks. Keeps a bitch. Wow. Making a wow for streaming? Okay. Cool, cool. Tormy, what's up? I missed the Forest Temple. Dang it. Yeah, you're a little bit past the No, Discount, you were here the night I did it, you goof. You know you missed it. Discount, thanks for the host. Thank you, guys. Alright. Yep. Nothing much. How you doing? Just finally finding some time to sit down and play a game. I didn't play do shit. Well, I did do shit this weekend. I haven't really played many games, which I kind of planned on doing. I was gonna play some games with you guys and the crew, but when you join us for Tarky C, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just haven't had time this weekend. I thought I would. Next weekend, hopefully I'm more free. I think you just walk through this. Yep. Alright. I really don't remember this area, like, at all. I remember it's kind of scary. There's, like, fucking flying skeletons around here. I hear them. Yeah, there's, like, a big fucking bubble. Yo, Kami! 19 because 19 is 19. Makes sense? Yes, 19. What does this mean? Kami, thanks for the 19 bits. You don't have to do that, dude. Hello, you soapy man. I don't even know what that means. Oh, God. Oh, fuck that. What's up, Anthony? Don't worry about it. I'm just glad I missed the Fire Temple. I don't get why you don't like the Fire Temple so much. It was so easy. We did it in like 30 minutes. Oh, fuck that. I'm sorry, Anthony. 10 hours? Fuck that, man. You'll know I'm crippled, right? Let's just, if you... Oh! Yeah, I forgot about that. You know, Rick, you know he's crippled, right? I don't think a lot of people know that, Rick. You're not actually crippled, your just ankle is crunchy. You know? I don't know who this Purd guy is, but fuck him. What's up, Logan? Be fair, if I do 50 hours this weekend, well, there you go, dude. It's a terrible, awful creation. It's the worst. Why? What the fuck? What did it... It's not even that bad. It's better than all the fucking temples in Majora combined. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That was too triggering. Ow! Ow! Wait, are we supposed to find silver rupees throughout this? I don't remember that at all. Oh. Why do you hate it so much? You take that back? I mean, I genuinely believe that, but I really just don't like the dungeons in Majora. I like the world and stuff, and the bosses. Actually, the Water Temple boss in Majora might be one of the worst things I've ever done in a video game. I'm not gonna lie. Not looking forward to doing that again. Oh, I see. This is another hole you could fall down. Georg or whatever his name is. A charlatan? What does that mean? Does this blow up? Why is everyone hating on me? That's all everyone does. They come on my stream and they say, oh, nice to see you put up the courage to stream. Hey, fuck you, bitch. And I'm like, alright, hi guys. Welcome back. This isn't Heroland. What's up, RJ? Dude, I've been playing it. I'm not that far in it, but there's so much text in it that I've played it for like 2 hours and I'm on like day 3. They wouldn't pay for my MRI when it was their fault? Oh, because of their fucking messed up stairs? Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, exactly like that. Charlatan. I said charlatan. I did not know. Ah! A liar. Look, I'm spitting the truth here. Ow. I like these little torches. Wait, what? Okay, this teacher who lifted me into the ambulance has been harassing me about my backpack? Are they harassing you about your backpack? What does that mean? How does that work? Yeah, it is pretty sad. Oh, you weren't allowed to have backpacks. What the fuck, dude? That's messed up. What are you supposed to do with all your shit? Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm really curious how you're going about that, RJ, because the game is like, I don't even know how you would route it into a speedrun, but you're kind of intriguing me. You can hear the spirits whispering in this room. Look for the eye of truth. Yeah, I know. Thanks, game. Ah! Oh, wait. He's fire. He's gonna burn my fucking shield. I'm gonna be really mad. I didn't get what you need a backpack for. I don't know. Why did we use backpacks for fucking 100+ years? The dumbest thing I've ever heard. Alright, so this takes you back to the beginning. I don't want to fall in another hole. Really don't know where I'm at. I think I'm on the left side here. No, that's the entrance. I'm on the right side. Then this went over here. Was there anything in here? I don't think there was, and then we fell through a hole right there. This is exactly what happened. Oh! That actually scared me. I thought that was gonna be way bigger of a dive. You think you're like a third of the way through the game or through routing it? Are you just routing it as you play it? It'd be an interesting speedrun because it's like, I don't know. I always feel like I'm not doing the most optimal thing I could. Like there's a lot of room for improvement. Even beginning to think that the fire... Why? There is nothing wrong with the fire temple. What do you hate about it? What's wrong with it? Better than anything in Majora. I just think Majora's okay. I didn't use my locker in school. My bag was just packed with fucking books, dude. That guy can sit on a cactus. Ouch. Carry my bag around school. I have a gun at fucking spiritual. I like that he has the why don't you just stop being crippled stupid. Yeah. Both, yeah, kind of. Okay. I don't know, you dumb fuck. If you want to pay for my surgery, you wouldn't have this problem. Yo, what's up? Oh, Bo. What's up, my man? Okay, RJ. I met a girl, and now I'm having fun wishing that I could work up the courage to ask her out, but I have an inferiority complex. I don't know how to help. I'm trying. I am no matchmaker. I can't even figure that shit out for myself, man. It's not that much different from the rest of the game. Can I fall down here and be alright? Okay, yes. Alright. Now there's no water. What does that mean for us? This is fucking stupid. If you're gonna complain about anything, complain about this. I already hate this more than anything. I just don't remember it. Fuck, man. DM me your number and I'll message her for you. There you go, Marin will do it. Just having my final jury? Nice, dude. Hell yeah, sit back and relax now. Kami, quit laughing at me, dude. Yo, ask her out, screw it. There you go, listen to chat. Chat knows what they're talking about. Oh. I somehow got lucky and had 2 girlfriends, but neither of them, like, well, I don't know. I'm just not good at advice. I'm not as experienced. Holy fuck. Okay. Ah. Oh, discount, I did that. It wasn't so bad. We got the Bigoron sword. I would say that was more annoying than the fire temple, though. I don't know. I just don't get it, I guess. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just interested in why your opinion is so strong on it. Steve ate the fucking chicken. Excuse me, what? Steve ate my chicken tenders? God, I want to beat Steve up, dude. Steve makes me so mad. He doesn't... I fucking... Oh, that man. That fucking man, dude. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse. Oh yeah, it's gonna open one of these. There's gonna be fucking bats in it! I don't want to fight anyone. Can't fight for shit. But Steve does piss me off. Alex, thanks for the host. What's up, man? Steve isn't even Rick's stepdad. It's just Rick's normal dad. He just pisses me off. Fucking big dummy. I fucking hate bats. What's up? Ah, how you doing, man? Welcome back. Come in, everybody. Ah! Floating mummy, dude! Discount, you're fucking weird, dude. I don't know why you hate that so much. I've never heard someone complain about it. Would you rather do the water temple over it? Because that, I will agree that the water temple is the biggest flaw in a Zelda game. One of the biggest flaws in a Zelda game. It's the worst temple for sure. Oh, fuck. Why is that one like golden? Yo, what's up, Gabriel? The McDonald's tenders are okay, actually. I haven't had them. You don't touch a man's chicken tenders, alright? Steve should know better. Steve's like, you don't get internet and I'm eating your chicken tenders. Fuck you. This is rape. Okay. I feel like it's the weakest one in existence. The Sage is mad. The Sage is a Goron. You don't really have a connection to them, and the hammer is... Yeah, the hammer doesn't really do much. You're right. The mini-boss sucks ass? What mini-boss? Oh, the little guy? I got a lot better at him. He was really easy. The final boss is shit. The layout was terrible. I don't know. I guess I just have it so memorized that it's like not a problem to me, you know? Like I did everything in there like really, really fast. I was like, oh, apparently I still have this memorized. Oh yeah, there's just a key sitting here. I would argue this area is more fucking annoying though. It's really cool, but This is annoying. Oh, Sniz, what's up, Fort? Fucking hate this area, man. And I don't know, like, where the secret... Like, there... We need the Lens of Truth to do most of this shit, but it's at the end, I think. I haven't done this part in forever. Fuck you. You still haven't beaten this? I've only streamed it like 3 times. What are you talking about? My streams are only like 2 hours long. I don't stream for like 8 hours like some of you other guys do. You other guys just push through games. I make mine like whole experiences that take me a long ass time. I've also been going for a lot of side stuff. We'd probably be done with the game if I didn't go for any heart pieces or anything. Or do Begoron sword. wait, what are you talking about? No kink shaming. No kink shaming. Sucking ass is the real deal. Sorry. The discount. Your brain works different than mine, I guess. I would like to not do the water temple again for like at least a few years now. Krista has a life, guys. He's not like us. I just only stream twice a week, and I play Mario one of the days. You do for it. For it, you'll stay up till like 5 AM just to finish a game that you're not even enjoying. Fort's like, wow, I hate this game, and then he plays it for like 6 hours straight. The second that a game makes me slightly angry, I'm like, I'm just not gonna play it. I'll just play it later, or I'm not gonna play it. Why do you think I still haven't finished fucking Rogue Squadron? I don't want to go back and play it. I can do one more long stream of Rogue Squadron and I'll beat it, but I don't want to. So it's gonna sit there on the back burner for a while. It's well themed, well designed, the item it gives you. Oh yeah, the long shot's fucking sick. This was the entrance. That's what I thought. God damn it. Organize a ton of people. Wait, what? Let's make a site like GoFundMe, but it's called Go Fight Me. I kind of like that. Those mummies call my name without the 44. They go, Problem with the link not talking is can't use a safe word. Holy shit. Oh. The man who I give money and hope to see, but I work a lot? Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, Gabriel? I see. Okay. Sorry, I'm like way behind. Holy shit, you guys. I want Tindies. I'd rather... You're fucking weird, Discount. I'm just gonna call you weird and end it there. Yeah, I usually do like 2 to 3 hour streams. I get tired or... I don't know, but then whenever I end stream, I'm not tired. It's weird. Code Veronica ain't that bad. It's just I never want to play it again. Yeah, that's fair, man. Yeah, I'm being mildly inconvenienced here. This game can fuck off 12 hours in. Sub to Purse, stop. Sub to Call Me Carson? Discount. Discount, doesn't that man have like 2 million subscribers? But would you ever shout me out? Because you don't like when my stream has a lot of people in it, Discount. But you're shouting out someone with like 2 million subs? What is this? Shout out Cyanide. What is this chat, dude? You guys don't make any sense. No, don't shout me out. Discount's like, see, I would shout you out. Alright, are you ready for this, boys? This is why it's called... What's the name of this? What's the name of the stream? Creepy old white men? Rick. Where's the creepy old white man? Hey. Oh, there he is! He's coming! Get me the fuck out of here, man! I don't remember how to fight him. It's been so long. It's been years. Oh, that's uncomforting. Deku Nuts? Yeah, the walk cycle's gross. No. Okay. I don't remember what to do. Get me the fuck out of here, man. Alright, dead hand. Watch out for its infinite hands. Aim for its head. Get out the sticks! You fucker! Yeah, now we're playing Resident Zelda. You just have to get grabbed and then like spin the stick, mash buttons. I really don't know what gets out of it. Anthony, why would you commit a sin like this? You fucking dickhead. No! Alright, you can't use sticks on him. His head is down too low. This is a terrible fight. Looks like me on the way to my fridge at 3 AM for shredded cheese. This is why it's called, what's the name of this? I don't remember I named my streams, dude. I just put like the first thing that comes to my head. Alright. Grab me again, big boy. Yeah, he's got a big pelican mouth. Ah!
This game's cool and all, but have you considered playing Ocarina of Time?
You know, we've thought about it. Fucking get over here, you stinky old person. You can hit these? No! This is... You can't touch boys like this! Ugh. Alright, thank you. Saw you monster. I need my cheese. Try the boomer. I forgot about the boomerang, dude. So we beating this tonight? Most likely not. I gotta get at least a temple done. I've just been doing a temple a stream. I've been calling it. Fucking hell, all these shutouts. The boomerang would have been a great idea. I forgot I had it. Just ISG, I don't know how. Ugh. I eat string cheese like that too? What the fuck? Shredded cheese? What's up, Blitz? I deep throat cheese? Ew, dude. I don't like this. Get over here, you stinky old person. Don't do anything cool, pause the stream. Wait, why? Oh, you're going to get cheese? Alright, I can't. As soon as that left my mouth, I'm like, Discount's gonna quote that. I knew it wouldn't be Rick. I knew it would cross Rick's mind, but I knew Discount would be the one who would do it. Okay. Get rid of those. Put those on. Let's put bombs on. Alright. What can we see now? Fucking idiot, dude. Big stupid doo-doo head. You know me? I thought about it. Good call, Rick. Well, we can go win the treasure chest game now. Ah! Ah! Wait, is this the very beginning? It's not even a secret. I'm just stupid. Does this... How slowly does this drain? Because if it takes like a while, I'll just keep it on. Okay. I was gonna say, I've seen one door with a lock and I forgot where it was. So here's one. What's the point of doing the rest of the dungeon now that we have the lens? Is there a reason? Yeah, I just go the right way on accidentally. On accident. On accidentally is what I said. Alright, well, we can get this. Beautiful. Alright. This is cool, so like if you actually knew that without the lens, then you could just do it. I know, that's crazy. Our streamer-viewer relationship. Oh, what? Oh! Why didn't you just say we've known each other for 3 years now? He didn't eat them? I'm still gonna beat him up. Like Ketchup did the gross water thing? Nice, dude. That's just dinner. Watch out for shadow monsters. I don't think you can call them that. Fuck you! Did you shake it? No. Don't know what to tell you. What the fuck, Discount? What's wrong with you? Discount says so many things that just upset me. Why does he do this? Just doesn't like when I call him dad? Yeah, I don't really like when anyone does. Just being a shitlord. Wouldn't be my Discount if you weren't. Yeah, Pierce is just some streaming I like. Do you mean to put streamer? Rick, are you... Rick... Fucking... I thought he would jump it, man! Is that treasure chest just bait? I'm on the ladder, man. What are you gonna do? Discord psychologist? I didn't mean to upset you. It's okay. Just kidding, too. Dad, why don't you come to my baseball games anymore? Is your dad in this chat? I don't know who you're talking to. What the fuck are you doing? Discount, stop. Twitch psychologist. That's me. We need everyone to treat Discount. Discount, we're here for you, buddy. Twitch intervention. I'm 99% sure I'm dyslexia. Why are there so many keys? What's in here? We already have the lens of truth. Isn't that all we need? What the fuck is in this place? You have the key to my heart? That's what was in there? Yeah, this is just all gold Skulltulas now, which I'm actually gonna take because we were 3 away from whatever was next. I got 1 key to Blitz's heart now. How do I unlock it? Zelda has the ADHD? Is that what you're saying? How do you guys feel about ginger beer? I don't think I've ever had any. Weirdly enough. I guess I don't try a lot of beers, but I do usually try to find stuff that I like haven't tried before sometimes. Is this like good? Oh, nice, dude. That was kind of unnecessary. Get out of the poo-poo water. It isn't actually beer? Okay. Oh, I pronounced the German version of it? Is that what ADHD is in German? ADHS? It's pretty close. Enough rum and I'll unlock everything. Oh, hell yeah, dude. By making fault. Wow, that's sad, Baron. What about real promises? I've tried doing that, Marin. Women don't like that either. Okay. We have 1 more key. Oh wait, I think it was in here. I know where it is. It's in here. There's a locked door. Marin's like, okay, women want nothing. They want everything and nothing at the same time. People are just stupid. He ignored me? Wait, what? I did? I didn't ignore you. I must have missed something, that means. Fuck you. Alright, this is the last room in here, so... Oh, you son of a bitch! They fucking got me, dude. They really goofed me on that one, I'm not gonna lie. Versus on world record pace. Or watch out, boys. Get those timers ready. My life is an open book, but it's a terrible read. Is that what I missed? I don't want to read that. Saying bad things about yourself again. Poop be gone. Is that from Envy? I haven't watched that movie in a long time. You good at improv sketches? No. I don't think so. I think I'm probably better at improv than some people, but most of the time, not really. I just say really stupid things. Have you watched my stream? I don't know how to talk to people. Or make up things. No, but whenever I did Let's Plays, I think I was a lot better at it. DHD Alexa. DHD? What was that? I don't know what that means. We have 12,000 different words. So I want to do jokes and gag improv between it. Okay. I mean, like, for that, I could probably be good. Because we'll be talking about something I actually have knowledge on. No wonder. I was like, this room looks so empty. You fucking dumb flying rats. Ah! Good thing I put that other shield away. Alright, you fucking tricky son of a bitch. Just hug that wall, you're good. Wow! Oh, I thought that was literally the entire room. There we go. Ah! I'm sorry I keep randomly screaming. This place is actually terrifying me. No! Oh my god. Whew. Dude, why are there so many blue rupees? Alright, that should be 40, which is actually awesome. Yes, it will be. Hell yeah. Alright, we're officially done with this shithole. That didn't take that long, actually. I think it's like 30 minutes. Yep, I knew that would happen at least once more. Whatever. It's actually gonna be faster because it takes us to the entrance. And I don't know where I'm going otherwise. Get up there. For 40? I've never called you 40. What is that? What's that quote? Oh god, gambling. Nice. 6,900? Oh, hell yeah. You're never done with the shithole. I am done. The shithole is done with you. Good, I don't want to fucking be here. Oh, right. Come on, man. You gonna drop hearts? I'm not interested then. Okay, look, Kami, most streams as of late, my chat has like, it's been like to the point where I can like not look at it for 30 seconds, I'll look back and there'll be no new messages. Sometimes that just happens. Well, usually like the first hour of my stream is like, there's a lot of people talking. Tonight, you guys are talking a lot. I can't keep up, it's hard. Stream title misleading, we demand some Logan Paul. Delta Drew, I don't want to deliver any Logan Paul content to you. I'm sorry.
Have you gone to the well yet? The lens of truth is in there.
Yo, thanks, Andrew. Thanks for the $2 tonight, man. This didn't even go. It did, but why? Kami, why are you not the bit dad? You're supposed to be the bit dad. Come on, where is it? Hey, there it is. Is it gonna play it 100 times now? Frank, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you always just tell me I suck? What's up, Frank? He wants us to stop talking. No, I like it. It's just sometimes I'm not used to it. All right. Which one of you is new? They go down a line, I think. Oh no, the curse has been broken. Thank you. Here's a reward. What do I get? What the fuck? We already had bomb chews, dude. That's worthless. Wait, are there any that I hadn't picked up yet? I really don't think so. You, what about you? No. We got the Stone of Agony or whatever, the Rumble Pack, but I don't know where my Rumble Packs are. I don't think I have any here. Alright, so we got that. What else? Or something else as a kid that I was like, oh, we can go do that now. Oh, the treasure chest game. Let's just get out the Ocarina. And it'll be... We have to watch Legend of Link soon? I do not want to do that. I would, though. I would watch it. We all have ADHS, the German version. It's heavier. Fuck, man. Text-to-speech for 1 bit? Matt did that? I would never do that. That's ridiculous. Fucking for $1 you could send 100? Fuck that, dude. That would just be such a mess of a stream. I will everything if you put anything Logan Paul on here. Don't worry. Because you suck. Thanks for the constructive criticism, Frank. I almost got weird out hearing thanks, Andrew. Yeah, I know. We have like 3 or 4 Andrews in my chat, so you're just adding on to it now. Seen the weird Amiga Zelda games? The Amiga? You're not talking about the CDI ones. Yeah, it lasted that one stream. Yeah, that does not surprise me. I know better than to do that to myself. Where is the fucking... Because here's the range. Where's the treasure chest game? Is it as an adult? Is that what this is as an adult? Where's the treasure chest game? Maybe it is CDI. Yeah, the CDI ones are terrible. We're gonna look at the CDI ones after I beat all 20 of the good ones. Hopefully all 20 of them are good. I know there's gonna be a few in here that are gonna be bad. I know Majora I'm gonna struggle on again, but I don't hate it.
Can you imagine how much I would fuck shit up if it was only 1 bit for text-to-speech message?
Yeah, that'd be fucked up. That would be pretty fucked up, honestly. Andrew, thank you. God damn it. No 6Q for us. Dude, those channel points are coming soon. I got ideas for them. Unlike the Bitbucks, which I never did anything with because stupid bot. I mean, it's not the bot's fault. I'm just bad. And also, I don't know. I hate the bot. It's a lot easier to do things with the channel points. Usually I look away for 3 seconds, looks away for a whole minute. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I was doing in this game. I need to do the treasure chest thing, but it's not here, so I think you have to do it as an adult. Is Kyle here? Lyric Boys. Okay, Kyle is here. Hey, buddy. Yeah, there's a reason why it's 100 and not 1. Yeah. It used to be any bits and any donations, and there was a certain someone who, one night, pretty sure Marin was here. I think Marin knows exactly who it was that got me to change my text-to-speech to $1. No, yeah, it was not just one night, you're right. It was like every time. Frank comes in, says, you suck, and he's like, look at my game battles. Look at my Call of Duty team, dude. I am gonna go look at it, though. 4th place. Nutso, dude. Absolutely nuts. Jesus, dude. Wait, who was it? Get out of here, unauthorized username. Why is my name still not showing? Make me that BitDad. Okay, it probably will now. I think I reset it after you cheered that. You'll be BitDad now. Kami, thank you. I will poop on your pee. I just won't flush, and then it'll be really easy. What? Where is... Okay, where's the treasure chest game? Am I insane? Where is it? Username not found. That's his name. That's what I... Okay, that's what I thought, but there's like... Where is it? Oh, at night? They just changed the entire thing at night? Did we do Reddit recap? I usually do it at the end of the stream, Gabe. So that way I can tell people during the stream, oh yeah, we have a Reddit. You should go post things on it. It's really stupid, but fun. Yeah, I check it at the end of the stream. So that way people can post things during. Off-white. Username taken by discount due to mental problems. What the fuck? Gucci username. Yeah, plug that Reddit, baby. Alright, boys. Let's go to this treasure shop. FUBU username? My Reddit name is unique and I keep it secret. I have a very old Reddit account, and that's why I made a new one, Marin. I made a new one, and then we made the Reddit that night. So... It's in the back alley. I think Marin's right, though. I think it does have to be at night. Or somebody said that. No, Drew, you said that. Annie with the raid! What? What are you doing, dude? Shout out to Annie. Annie's stream died. Save us. No, did her stream actually die? Oh my god. Yo, Lydia, Etsy, Inception, knocked my dude. Happy... No, it's not my birthday. Alien and May, what's going on? Fucking Noms in chat, dude. Yellow Brolo, what's up, dude? It did die. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. How did, discount? Shut up, dude. I knew you were gonna say it. Okay, it must be in the alley. I'm doing great. Thank you for the raid. Happy birthday. No. Today's my birthday, too. What'd you get? A broken heart. I don't know. I didn't get anything. It's right here. All right, we were trying to find the shop for like the last 10 minutes. Annie just went live notification. Uh-oh. Annie, make sure you shut off your stream. I'm doing good. How are you? How's your stream? How did Dark Souls go before your stream died? Welcome to everybody that was with Annie. Holy shit. The chat has told me it's not my birthday. You guys can't say this when discount's here. I'm doing well, Annie. But the Bombchu game is pretty garbo. Dude, I did really good on it now. As a kid, I hated it. Yeah, holy crap. Thank you guys for coming in. That's insane. Open the chest and surprise. If you find a key inside, you'll be able to advance. Too bad I'm gonna cheat your system, old man. It went well. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing great, Annie. Thank you for the raid, dude. I don't deserve it. Speedrun win. Sorry that happened, love. Why is it just blurred out in the chat up there? You didn't even do anything wrong. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry, Annie. Cheating. I speedrun Mario 64. This is just one of my favorite games. I don't speedrun this one. Usually on Thursdays, I do my speedruns. I like your water cup. Thanks. It's just a huge jar. It holds a lot of water. Birthday shitpost in the Reddit. No, don't do it. As a kid, I did fine. As an adult, I want to... Wait, do you have to do the Bombchu game as an adult? Oh, no, playing a 360 controller on N64 is awful. I'll go ahead and agree with you that that was probably garbage. Why is it always the left one? I'm getting sick of my shit. What is this discount mental problems meme? Oh, IRL, isn't it? I'm stupid. I get it. Always first his birthday unless it's his actual birthday. Yeah, then no one cares. No, you guys were fucking awesome on my birthday stream, actually. Where I played Shadow of the Colossus. Next year, I'm not gonna do a 10-hour game in one sitting, though. ASMR? No. What are you guys asking of me? Chat be like, fast! I still don't know how I mapped a 360 controller to the N64. It's awful. I've used it before. Yeah, it's every day. I'm like 24,000 years old. Can we get a birthday stream? Yeah, it's right now. This is it, guys. This is the birthday stream. Pog, dude. ASMR stream, dude. First has to do a Pierce Brosnan voice all stream. Noctiv. Every time someone says that name, I feel like I have to tell everyone. I feel like everyone's like, yeah, I know, you've told us. I like being compared to Pierce Brosnan because I'm partly named after him. Because my dad's a big James Bond guy. And Pierce Brosnan was James Bond. No, no, not that man. No. Pierce Brosnan was James Bond in the 90s, so... An Asylum stream? Why am I a psycho now? What psychotic thing did I do? 24-hour birthday stream. I don't want to hate my birthday, okay? That sounds terrible. No, just about my name being related to Pierce Brosnan. More and more people that see my name for the first time are starting to call me Perse, and that makes me happy. I still do get some people who will see me and go, oh, Percy. And I'm like, where are you getting this extra syllable at, man? Pierce Brosnan, licensed to chill. I like that, Noct. I like that, man. Marin, I think you were the only one who knew. I was introduced. I don't mind what people call me. I don't mind if people call me by my first name. People calling me Perse already just sounds normal to me because it's been my nickname for such a huge chunk of my life now. Porsche? No one's ever called me Porsche. That would be an interesting one. Yeah, I think like Claire asked me that recently. She's like, can I call you Pierce? And I was like, yeah. I don't care if you call me by my real name. I have it in my panels and stuff. If I was worried about my name, I wouldn't put it down there. Or say it like every stream. Beautiful. Now, can't you use like a hammer or something over here? What is it? There's something you can do over here. Or can you only do it... Maybe you can only do it at the end of the game. 24? I thought you're 30. No, I'm 24. 30? Where'd you get 30 from? Kami, you big trolling man. Good lightning is a hell of a drug. What's up, Tiny Viking? No, I'm 24. I just turned 24 like a month ago. That was a rigged question. I appreciate you for it. Yeah, you know, I was like, oh, Marin will know it. Yeah, like I know Marin's real name, but I'm pretty sure I've never called her by it. It's just like, I don't know. It's whatever rolls off the tongue more. Yeah, discount. I don't know. You just said you don't like hearing it, like it weirds you out. Look at this. Whose skull is this big, man? It's huge. Oh, golden gauntlets. That's it. You're right. Does he just pick it up? Where do you even get the golden gauntlets? I do appreciate it, Kami. It's not like an I'm angry at you for trolling. Just like, god damn it, Kami. You trolling son of a gun. Where the hell do we go next? Graveyard? But then we need Din's Fire. Oh, we have Din's Fire. Where do you get Nehru's Love at? We talked about this last stream, and I already forgot. Call me by my legal first name and not the name I go by to everyone. Oh, yeah. I've done that before. Castle Courtyard? That's Nehru's Love? No, that was Din's Fire. Because that was the last thing we got. Sorry, no, I lied. It's okay. Yeah, that was Fire. It's in the desert, okay. Desert Colossus. Oh, holy fuck, I forgot about this. This is sad. My throat is so dry. It's the worst. Yeah. Someone's making s'mores with an entire town? Ah! Smithy, that's scary. Holy shit, that's way scarier when it happens to you. I always laugh when you and Polka do it to Barley, but I don't like that. Is Raisin Bran good or nah? I don't know. I will get you this woman for your birthday night, the Hey Guys lady? Watch this shit. Whoa! Just made Chic Scorpion, man. Little W. Look at that fucking thing. Blue pixels. That thing's scary. If I saw blue and red pixels go across my wall, I'd leave. And that was the first time Link was Vord. That fucking chicken. You get the silver gauntlets from the Desert Temple, golden gauntlets in Ganon's castle. So you have to go in Ganon's castle first? That's so dumb. Should I drop a name reveal? You want me to say it? I won't say the full name. No, but then people are just gonna know your full name. Vorn Fleet? Ew, both? Terrible thing has happened. The evil shadow spirit's been released. Here of Kakariko Village has sealed it in the bottom of the well. Was I supposed to come here as an adult first? Because I've already been in the well. I believe Impa has gone to the Shadow Temple to seal it again. But she will be in danger without any help. God damn it. Alright. The only thing I can do for you is teach you the melody. Hell yeah, yeah, that's how we get there. Oh, I get the honor of saying that Discount's real name is Will. Discount's real name is Will. But don't call him William. Bam, 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 bam. Dude, Pepe Jam, baby! Ding, doom, doom. You're gonna start calling me by my middle name? It's weird, don't do that. Ba-dum. Cheek's theme kicks so much ass, man. Yellow Brolo, I'm digging it. I'm digging the Pepe Jams, man. Counting on you, Purse. It's a hard person to count on. A is for apple. Here's Egbert. My middle name is not Egbert. It's actually kind of close to that, so that's kind of fucking weird. That's like weirdly close. Yellow Brother's always jamming. I love it, man. Edgar? You know my middle name, don't you, Marin? Maybe not. Actually, you probably don't. Most people would not know that. No, the egg part is wrong. The Bert is correct. It's Eugene. It could be a question for Purse Trivia. Fran Bert. Shut up, Gabe. Marin's like, cause my real name, middle name is Marin. Okay. Rick, you confused the fuck out of me for a second. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? What do I make my middle name? I was like, what does that even mean? And then I was like, ah. I know Rick's full name, but that I will not say, because I don't think many people do. Shadow Temple. Here we go, boys. Look at what was Nintendo thinking when they did this, dude? It's the scariest shit I've ever seen. Name leaks monk as. Everyone in chat, dox yourselves. You, Aaron. I kind of like that. Make my beak face the skull of truth. Data submit. Oh my god, it's almost been 2 years, dude.
Sup, bitch.
What the fuck did you say to me? I'm gonna have to have a talk with Justin. That dungeon, the heat's going off tonight. Can't believe he spoke to me like that. Data, thank you for 23 months of sub, you absolute legend. I love you, man. Dude, I gotta put Justin in his place. He speaks to me like the reason he's in the dungeon, man. Here's a ninja reference. You just admit you forgot to pay utilities. Next stream, I'm just gonna be like Frozen Blue. Ocarina of Time. It's like icicles coming off of me. I don't like that you just said my name. Aaron? Name isn't Aaron. I know your name's Smithy. I can't remember it, but I do know it. The glowing eyes, these scare me too. Why do some of them just glow? Shut up, man! Ah! At least there's a heart in it. Oh my god, stop, please! No, dude! Alright, now we don't have a boomerang, so that does nothing. Does this bring me to it? Okay. What about the Begoron sword? No! He's got that basketball reach. Oh yes, it actually does work though. Oh, get off of me, please. Dude, you can hit him while he's standing up with this thing. Ow. William Davis! Don't fake docs. I don't know how against TOS that is. Holy shit, that does a lot of damage. Yeah, Justin, that's your name. That's what I thought. Just in case. You get PTSD? Okay, I was like, why? I know what you're talking about. Time I thought your name was Rambo. I thought your name was John Rambo. Oh, I forgot about the hover boots. These things kick ass. I love these things. It's 4 AM. I'm at work doing night shift watching Purse. Now I'm a true fan, aren't I? There's some people that only watch me at work. It's like Gino. 90% of the time he watches me. He's just at work. One who gains Eye of Truth. Why does it keep fucking saying this? Nice. I actually want the map here. I don't know what's at. One fucking hit! Charm, thanks for the host, my man. What's going on? I got to see Germ the other day. Me and Germ, like, never see each other. Ever. Wait, what happened? Gabe timed out discount? Wait, what? Why? I'm across the street, I'll be right over? What are you gonna do? I'm streaming. You're just gonna sit here. Palm Link's head like a basketball. I don't know what's going on in this chat. Annie's laughing along with it. I don't know what's happening. I don't watch you. I know that. Dada subs to me, but he hates everything I do. Dada, you be quiet. I know you sit here and you support me. And the only fact that was I live in yeah. Who timed me out? I think it was, I don't know. I think it was Gabe. Abusing power, Rick. I think it was Gabe. I'm funny, that's why. We gonna have a wait, what? Excuse me? Kami, you're moving a little too fast for my taste, man. I don't know how to get in. Then I don't know which apartment's yours. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, to get in, you have to have a key to the building. Only one who has sacred feet. That's weird. The Skull of Truth. What's that mean? This one? Oh, the one that actually has an opening? Oh, the Skull of Truth. I get it. That one. Give me them toes. See if I roll together. It was me, Austin. Did you DM me? No? Oh, that is too cool to respond to DMs. Yeah, I should probably read. I don't know how to do that, guys. Yeah, sacred feet. Just breaking and knocking every door. There's like 200 apartments here. That's not a DM, that's a goddamn no. Me whispering in the mic probably sounds like shit. Hyrule type beat. Nice. Hello? Where is it? I know it's here. Yeah, I think I'm a little too early. Sure. What? There we go. Will dox for money? Thanks for stopping off with this whole doxing nonsense. Obviously a fake wall. This is like one of the coolest fucking most badass rooms on the N64. Because of PayPal and mail. I'll respond to your book. Alright, here we go. Best fucking sound ever. Here's another one. Ooh. That was bad timing. Fuck. God, it's so satisfying. Oh god, this is mook ass! Okay. Figured I'd get hit. Yeah, Rick, that's some bullshit that you still can't use your PayPal. How do I pay you for art now knowing that that money will not go anywhere? that you'll never see it. Oh. Hello? It's just a wall? Okay. Ah! Dude, everything keeps fucking debating me. It's pissing me off. Okay, the Skulltula is above this. I know exactly what this is. Venmo, I guess I can still use that or Cash App. For real though, if I come through for like a weekend, will you and Gabe hang out with me? Well, yeah. Obviously, dude. As long as it's at a time where we can, I guess. I'm gonna roll under it. That's some real G shit. Nice. How does Ko-fi work? Coffee? It said like coffee? I thought you just bought people coffee on it. That's what it is, right? Or is it just like you can give money through it? Y'all hear something? I hear a bitch ass dude in our presence. Y'all hear something? I like that. That's funny. I like that laugh. Oh, I literally thought it was to buy people coffee. It's a Patreon alt, more or less. Oh, that's kind of cool. Alright, guys. Support my premium coffee. If you promise not to talk about anime, no deal. I'm out. How to get Gabe out of a deal super fast. Wait, so what's going on here? That's a fake wall. We got a key? What? That's not all that's down here. There's no way. Is it? I thought I remember the entire dungeon being down here. Am I wrong? Alright, I'm missing something here. Something ain't right. Is there a door I didn't try, or... Yes. Okay. There's something I just didn't go in. Yeah, pretty much everything goes through PayPal. Buy a bottle of something heavy. Ugh. It's had like one of the worst nights of my life recently. It's gotta be this, right? No. Oh. Does this wall break? This wall's gotta like explode or something. That's annoying. Okay. Let's get some Malort. No, thank you. I've considered GoFundMe for internet. Rick, I don't think it's about the money. I think Steve's just fucking lazy and doesn't want to do it. God, fucking Steve, man. It takes... you don't even have to do anything. You just have to wait for them to do it. Makes me so mad. Look, getting internet set up is annoying, but it's not that annoying. And once you do it once, you never have to do it again. Fuck you, I knew there would be another one. Drop me some hearts. No! Steve, get the internet and your family will love you more. Isn't that what you want? Your setup is less annoying than not. Yeah, exactly, Cerberus. You know what's more annoying than setting up your internet? Not having internet. Rick, you wouldn't want to stream 24/7. Once you have it for a while, you'd be like, ah, yeah. But I'm sure, like, it would make everything a lot easier, you know? Would I support you streaming 24/7? Sure. Do I think you would and should? Probably not. 24/7, that's a lot. I gotta take these fucking boots off, man. I'm gonna slide right off this stage. No, he just doesn't want to do it, Rick. You know what? You know what I think of you, Skelly man? I think your wife didn't love you. I want you to fall off. There you go. that is the strategy. Oh, nice. Oh my god. Okay, let's put those boots back on. It's just hurtful. He's dead. He has no emotions. I hope. Who's the real monster here? Probably Link. What is this? It's like a Minecraft house whenever somebody makes the ceiling too short. I don't know. The ceiling isn't that bad here. It's worse in Minecraft. Okay. So this is scary. Look. I see it, Nabi. God, we just need all these things constantly. Oh my god. Scared the life out of me. Shane, my mans! How did the runs go? You son of a bitch, you always stream Mario 60. You always stream right whenever I do. We have like the same schedule. I hate it. I never get to watch it now. I want to stream 24/7. Look what happened to my stream. Look, I'm just saying. I know how Rick is too. He can't make decisions on what he wants to play and shit all the time, so. What the hell? Is there a wall master in here? What's going on? Why are you going green? Scarecrow? We never set up the Scarecrow song because I don't understand how. There you are. What? The auto aim is so bad. What are you supposed to do in here? How do you get that open? I heard nothing you just said. Okay. Fantastic. Let me catch up on chat, make sure I read everything. Hanging out with your buddy is one of the worst nights of your life. I know! Oh my god, this guy. How do you twist my words so much? No, because you said hard liquor. What the fuck does that man's do to make 4K a month? It's not even that he says he can't afford it. This Christmas for... One of her Christmas is internet, and he was like, nah. I don't do enough to deserve internet? Wow, dude! That's fucked up. I know, we could rant about Steve all day. I said, Shane, thanks for the raid, and I said, you son of a bitch, why do you always play Mario 64 whenever I'm streaming? I said, how did your runs go? College is not worth it. Feel kind of the same data, but I can't say that because it depends on what career you're going into. Then it is worth it for a lot of people. That Gabe says correct. Gabe graduated from college. College equals freedom. Yeah, I think college will be good for Rick though. Get away from the parents. I never know what to play / do. That's the hardest part about streaming. You know how it goes? Absolute fuckery. What, the speedruns? He's a body man? Oh, hell yeah, he is. I'm a master of bullshit. I always twist words. Fucked up, dude. Gabe. No. What am I supposed to do in here? Am I supposed to kill all the bats? Are there still bats? There are still fucking bats. I bet that's it. Okay, my opinion on this temple is maybe weird design choice, but not a bad temple so far. These are some of the ones I like don't remember as much. There's a Lost Skulltulas in this one, if I remember correctly. We love an alcoholic. We don't love an alcoholic dad. Bundles of arrows. Wow. Some people do like way later, Marin. Are you gonna jump down? Fucking little baby boy, what are you gonna do? Pee your pants? Please make it. Thank you. Ah! Oh no, dude, that would have been tragic. Where the fuck are the rest? Oh! I'm an alcoholic dad. What's up, Pearl? It's my favorite alcoholic dad. Get the fuck out of here, Beyblades. Oh, I remember this room. This room's cool. The one with the Eye of Truth will find the stone umbrella. It's clipping through the wall. Let it rip. Fucking stupid things. Alright, you little spider who sounds like he's just munching on a meal. Where are you? They were legit dangerous. I had one of them. Alright, we have to get both of these under here. Somehow. I think you can get like the very edge of it, right? Yeah. God, shut up! You hear him? I know you hear him. How do I get to you and just murder you? Ah ha ha ha! You're dead now. Excuse me, Pearl? Oh, it's okay. Rick started it. I wouldn't. Oh no, no. Rick, please. Please don't. That laugh was minorly unsettling. Wait, which one? The one of me killing the spider? I really wanted him dead. I don't even know what it sounded like at this point. I'm like, ah! Just hearts. Just get me to the place I need to be. What? Venus. Oh, you're talking about, are you talking about art, Rick? It's a little bit different. Okay. One of my buddies landed a voiceover gig for a big Fallout mod? Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome. What's the mod? Can you disclose that information? What the? Did it put more chests down? Where are, oh, it did. Oh, that would have been bad. Nice. Okay. There's another one. What? Oh. Oh, dude, I heard about that Fallout Miami thing. I'm actually excited to see how that goes, because that sounds awesome. Dude, good for him. That's awesome. Is he like one of your personal friends, or is he like an online friend? Okay, we got that. Ah!
Meaty chair isn't working again, you dumb fuck.
Jesus!
Watch this.
You better fucking watch your mouth, dude. Swear to God. Look, man, I have to turn it on every stream. It makes me turn it on every stream because I don't use Streamlabs OBS because I hate it. Auto show videos, yes. Why do I have to do this every time? Just play them. Let's get started. Go to your recent events. No. Just play them. It's so stupid. What did you send?
True, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I fucking hate him, dude.
True. That's fucking true. That's how it is, dude.
Dude, he says that's true so many times. Tony, what? That's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, yeah, that's true. Jesus Christ. Ah! Froby, what's up, homie? My fucking home slice. My main squeeze. Please don't miss this. Where the fuck is this? Oh. Dude, Uncle Joe's the 3-part fucking yes, dude. This is genius. I'm gonna shove you off again, you bag of bones. I don't even have to. You're dead. I think you got a fucking yeah. There's another path. Yeah, how did I not even see that? Oh! Why am I trying these things? Oh! Partnered streamer, by the way? Ooh, Joe? Yes. He is a partner now. The man who deserves it. Against everything you would think Twitch would do to give someone partner, he did, and he still got it, baby. Oh, dude, we're gonna get that from doing nothing but style flips. No, we're not. I lied. Has anyone ever told you look like a younger Terry Crews? Did you cheese the water temple boss? Huh? I don't like cheese. How the fuck do you get these things? Oh. No, discount. No, I just did it normal. I don't know how to cheese them. I didn't know there was like a way to. I'm disappointed? That whole temple is ass. The entire temple is a disappointment, so I did exactly what it wanted me to. Get me up there. The ADHS. I don't even understand. Why can you not make that? Gene, oh no, dude. Oh no! What has he done? Oh, that's a lot. Yeah. He's back. Oh god, he's back. Oh, he's doing it. Gino! Thank you for all the bits. What the fuck? I did make a bunch of cash from selling tentacle monster bathwater. Gino, Jesus Christ. My mans. How are you doing, Gino? I miss you. I was in your kitten stream, and it was fucking awesome. I actually love that. They're still set to speedrun? Yeah, I guess they are, eh? Let me go fix it. My bit alerts are like broken. Yeah, I was watching Kitten. It was really fucking funny. Kit poop, yeah. That town was catching on fire quick. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. Yeah, we're still in speedrun mode. How do I get out of it now?
Nice.
Nice. Did you send a video, Gabe? What'd you do? Hello? Oh my god, dude! What the fuck was that? You cycle, you just in. Gino said, what? Don't ever try beating Gino at bits in my stream, okay? Gino is the true king. He created the bit throne. I'm trying to fix that, because Marin's right. Why is it so stupid? Oh, there it is! Manage themes! Main alerts? I'll see if... Do my bit alerts still work? Because I think they just might have fucking broke. I did something that broke them bad. Oh, okay. They work again, I guess. Cool. No! I was enjoying my time without this. I haven't seen it in a long time. Discount. I need to rest. Discount. You have a wonderful night. I love ya. No, dude. Rick, Rick, shut up! Stop! Don't mention these things. The bit alert thing is broken underneath my stream now. Oh no, this is... I put it back and look what happens. No. No. You don't know what you've done. Why did you mention it?
By the powers of naughtiness, I command this particular drop of hot sauce to be really, really hot.
All right, give me a second. You guys, I've had this alert here for a few weeks. Oh, this is too much. There we go. Normal screen. Fuck, man! I slid the alert in without telling anyone. So, I ordered a Hot Ones sauce. And, cause I like hot sauce, but I got one that was like an 8 out of 10. Cause I was like, I like hot sauce. I meant to get one that was a 6 out of 10. And I accidentally got an 8 out of 10. So I added a 666 alert. And I was like, what am I gonna use this bottle for? Cause it's too hot to use on food. So I was like, why don't I make a 666 alert? And it's like the SpongeBob hot sauce. Kami, please. Kami, please don't. Please. You guys better chill out. Someone call the ambulance. Oh god, don't do it! Let me get some water. Yeah, the fire shits, dude. So, we're gonna get hot gameplay, baby! Ah, that's fucking... Bro! So I call this my Skilladilla screen because there's one night I was really under the influence and I was talking to Barley and I made this screen of just all my favorite things. And I had completely forgotten that... Hello? I completely forgotten that Steven has a screen that is the like exact same as this. So I was like, well fuck. Steven did this amazing thing. So like I went to your stream and I saw your beginning because I normally like wouldn't catch the beginning of your stream. And I saw it and I was like, fuck, Steven did the exact same, like I did the same thing Steven already did. I was like, god damn it, now I copied him. How do you see what the bit alerts are? They just have them memorized. Let's get a better song here. I don't know what this is. Yeah, let's do this one. This one's a banger. Just plays every stream. Yeah, I did this in one night. I was just like, what are my favorite things? Fuck, this is gonna suck. I can smell it. I need the bloke alert. What? It's 40, I think. He needs that ale. I think it's 40. I don't even remember. All right. Smoky ghost pepper goodness. Thanks, Gino. Thanks, Rick, for bringing it up that alert exists. All right, that's... Once it starts spreading out on the spoon, you know it's probably enough. No, go ask out that lady. Get a lighter and warm it up? Yeah, boy. Ah! Oh god, that hurts! It's immediate! Ooh, and it's gonna last too, I know it is! Oh no, no, exhale! Oh, dude, it hits immediately. Yeah, that one, I ordered one a little too hot. Give the bloke some milk. I'll see how long I can go without drinking. Alright, let's just go back to the game. The idea is I have to... Oh, the green screen! Ah! There we go. We look better now. Gino! Gino, 800 plus bits! What are you doing? Oh, dude, it like slowed down for a second, but it's getting worse. Every time I say a word, it's like a fireball in my mouth. What is this room? This room looks stupid. Fucking emo ass. This is my bedroom. This is my emo bedroom. Here's my tour. Fuck, dude. Oh, dude, it just does not feel good to breathe. It's not like... It's like... it's like hot, but it's not like 10 out of 10 hot. Like... I'm surviving. I haven't drank anything yet. My tongue is like a little numb. Oh, it's just like, it's so weird. Yeah, now my tongue feels like it's kind of bleeding. Fucking die, Bat, please! Fuck. Oh, stop it. Thank you guys for all the bits. What the fuck? It's been a while since I've been bit smashed in my ass. Marin's giving the bloke multiple ales now. Ooh, Frobier, look at you bashing, baby. Oh, I can just taste it. It's such a strong taste. Well, you gotta like throw a bomb in there. Buckets! LeBron James! Get on, get that key. Fuck. Ah! It's so hot, dude. It hurts so bad. It's not going away. Ah! Kill the fucking spider, man! I don't care about you, bitch-ass spider. Oh, why is it getting worse? You really would think it'd be done by now, wouldn't you? What's in here? Fucking bats? Oh, it hurts. Alright. We'll live. Yo, Kami with the 10! This is a warning, everyone stop with the bits or I'll race up and take you all down. The biggest bit Percival ever has seen. That's a lot of fucking bits. And be careful, Kami. Ow. Gino, thank you for fucking everything. And all I honestly, I don't even blame you for the hot sauce. I blame Rick for reminding you. This is a terrible idea. Where am I supposed to go after this? Was that okay? That was only one entrance of how many? Oh, sick. Okay. The biggest bit dick. Don't challenge me. Gino takes pride in fucking making my heart crack. Yeah, you've got the fucking Kami, fucking Kami. You say that, but you know what I say to you. Fuck, where is it? No! My sub fucking ran out because I'm constantly turning on and off my subs. First, are you ready? Please don't say that. Gino, I beg you. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to yourself. I don't deserve this. I'm just a man playing Zelda. Really poorly. My mouth is on fire. Gino, please don't. Shut up, Rick! Don't tell him. Please don't 6969 again, Gino. It's too many. I'm dead! Jesus fucking Christ. Why, Gino? What the fuck, man? It hurts to talk still, man. That hot sauce fucking hurts. I regret that. The ending. Don't worry about the ending. I just gave you guys a first W. Ow. We need a Gino Y. We need a bad Gino emote. Gino, what the fuck? Thank you, dude. I don't know why you do this to me, but you know how much I appreciate it, I hope. Now Kami's like, I'm fucking out, baby. Breaking you is fun. I'm a fucking broken man. Jesus Christ, Gino, that's insanity. Kami, I don't know what to say to him because I tell him not to do it. And the reason is... I don't know what to do to him. He gets a medal. He's probably like the only one with it. He has this fucking cheer badge in chat. Whenever that one goes away next to his name, which won't for a fucking month now. And he has... I don't even know what color he has now. Like fucking orange or something? Okay, this turned off. Yeah, just trust me. I don't know what to say to Gino anymore. Oh yeah, he can change anytime. Oh yeah, you're right. He can. If you want to see like, okay, how about this? No. Oh, green, dude, it matches your name. It looks fantastic. Green is 755. Okay. I think he's the first person with it. What's that? Why you telling me to look at that, Navi? No. Alright, this is gonna be legit. Oh, it didn't even freeze me. Don't worry, first, eventually I'll be back to orange. Discount, I never want you to spend that amount of money on me ever again. If you ever get to a point where you have a lot of money again, I do not want you spending it on me. If you spend your wallet, I can spend my bank. Please try. Please stop. Just hang out, enjoy the stream. What am I supposed to do in here? What, Navi? What is it? Here, I can hear the spirits whispering in this room. Those who have sacred feet. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember this. Oh, fuck. I'm doing it, same with game. It's a terrible idea, Discount. Ow, dude! Yeah, it's this one. Marin! No! Marin, thanks for gifting a sub to old sexy ass Discount. My lad. You just reminded me that there's something I needed to set up on this. Fuck, man. No, where is it? Holy shit. Marin, thank you. And fucking Gino. Thank you for making streaming an actual, like, viable thing I can do as an income while also just enjoying playing my favorite games and getting to hang out with my favorite people. You don't know how much that fucking means to me, and I swear. I feel like I don't say it enough. Wait, is this set up? Oh no, it's gonna play it. Alright, hold on. Don't play it. Where is it? Alright, sorry. I'm looking for something I set up yesterday. Like a new sound effect and shit. There it is. That's it. Okay. Alright, sorry, I'm back. Who will get to gift number 100 with first? You or Nico? That's ridiculous, man. Man, you stuck it at 69 for a long time, remember? And then you accidentally forgot about it. Then you were like, shit! Oh my god. What the fuck? No! Stop! Oh no, Gino, please don't say it like that. Yeah, Discount was like, I need to go to bed like 20 minutes ago. He wanted the fucking bloke in a nail. He got one. From Marin like 3 times, thank you. And fucking Gino, Jesus. Undefined? What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck? What is that? What'd you just send, Rick? And why did I just get that in there? Where's my key? Oh, it's over here. It's underneath the poop rock. How do I get in the poop rock? I think I gotta bomb it. Night, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, there we go. It should have a key in it. This dungeon likes to bait you and think that you unlock the chest with the good thing in it, and they just give you blue rupees every time. My mouth is finally starting to cool down. Oh, yeah, okay, we're getting close. We're actually getting close now. Discount. Oh, Jesus Christ. Gino will be like, okay, what is this? Oh, I fucking love that. Yo, please. Oh my God, flesh that out. No! Why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? This is the worst alert idea I've ever had in my life. Oh, the bitrate, right. Sorry. I need to just make it... Oh, that's my whole cam range. The game is muted? Oh yeah, use right. It's okay, I didn't get to play for that long. Thank you, I forgot. God damn it, man, I just fucking... Alright, I'm not gonna talk about it next time. If I start feeling good, I'm just not gonna say anything. So what does he get? I get the same thing, what do you mean? Oh, that one had like a little bit of aftershock. Doesn't take much. This window needs more colors. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to put it on my tongue again, that hurt. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, that one had bits in it. Ah! Fuck. Oh, that one's worse. It had like bits of ghost pepper in it. $420 cooldown. Oh, nice, dude. Fucking sick hit. Ah! Do 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 do.
3, 2, 1.
Banger. That's okay. I put hot sauce on everything, just not this. Oh, it's okay. 1 teaspoon's only 5 calories, guys. Your cheeks are bright red. It's hot, dude. That little sketch you did, Rick, that looks like Gino's little guy. Ripping the toilet out of the wall. Fucking hell. I had to drink water after that one. That sucks. It doesn't do anything. It cools your mouth down for like 2 seconds and then it's like, yeah. Shit still sucks. Okay, yeah. Need this. Thanks for the 666 Beanos, Jits. That's what I was gonna say. 666 bits, Gino. Does it fall down? Okay, it does. I looked over at my face and I look like I'm just not having a good time. I'm like, that's just me like exhaling hot air. Is it worth 600 bits? Yeah, it probably is. I'm just blowing fucking fire out of my mouth. Yeah, we're gonna want... We're at the end of the temple already. I guess it's been almost 2 hours since I started. All the temples go by fast except for fucking... Wasn't that our Scarecrow song? We never set one. I don't know. I don't know how the Scarecrow works. $1461 bits to go till 10k. You right. Wonder how many 69s that is. That wouldn't be responsible, Gino. 1461. Oh, till 10. Oh. Yeah, there's a. I forgot about this. The gauntlet, the spice gauntlet. Get the fuck out of here. What? Get off the boat. You fucking idiot. My lips, dude. It's hurting my lips this time. Get off the boat. Ow! What, Volvagina? Purse vag. Purse vagia. Oh, Gino. Gino's fucking counting him out, dude. No, Gino, stop! Oh, that's enough for a cup of milk. Ah, it's sinking! Oh, I do have milk, you're right! Gino, thank you! God damn it, why? What the fuck? What about this milk, dude? Oh. Gino! Jesus Christ! 15! What the fuck? It's enough for milk. I forgot I never have milk, and whenever I do, I forget I don't drink it. This is the perfect time to drink it. Oh! Oh, it's delicious. I just want to put my face in it. Milk was a great choice. Gino, Jesus Christ. This is absurd. I was talking about the milk, but Kami, man, I told you. I said, don't fucking doubt Gino when he comes in here, man. Jesus Lord. You should thank me for pushing. Gino's probably gonna do it either way. But Blitz is usually the one cheering Gino on. He took Blitz's spot tonight. Yes! Gino, please do that. Oh no. Holy shit, dude, this fucking alert. Oh my god. Gino. Insane amount of bits. Unnecessary, as always. But thank you. Jesus Christ. Ow. My lips still hurt even after the milk. I thought I would be set. 6-9s are still going. Kami, don't even start. Is it done? No. Eric, he doesn't have hands. They're just little nubbies. Should be easy to draw. Gino. Oh, it's a trash compactor! Dude, how many of these? 15. Okay. Oh my god, there's 21 of them. You guys like Turtles in Time? What did I miss? It's just Gino. Actually, I kind of hate turtles. I may be rich, but I'm not. Oh, my lips still hurt, dude. Yeah, pretty much, man. Dude's a saint. Ow. Isn't there like hookshot things? No. Oh, I remember. This is 19. Kami's gonna drop 10 bits. There they are. He's not a saint? Gino's a saint to me. Oh, right. Yes! 21, baby. 21 69s in a row. Marin, I'm a sinner. Oh, God. Gino. Jesus Christ, dude. You know, I never know what to say to you to thank you. So I'm just gonna say thank you. I don't deserve someone like you. Alright, boss key.
Big Apple, 3 a.m. Turtle power.
Thanks, thank you for the $2. Big Apple, 3 a.m. Oh my god, no. No! Did you do a thing? It takes a second, but I see it. Do I have to go here? Oh no. It's doing it. I see it loading. I hate this. Let's hear first. What do you actually get out of 10k bits? $100? Ah! Exactly how much bits are. Kami, please don't. This part's good because I don't ever hear this part. Did you get pussy? Excuse me? No! Were we talking about getting you a cat? I think I talked about it when I was really depressed after my breakup. But I don't know. I think you have to pay like a huge down payment or something. It's like not that much. I kind of still want one, but I can't make up my decisions. Or I can't make up my mind. Dude, please, just LeBron James it again. Oh, there we go. That was pure buckets. Oh yeah, it was like like September or something. Gino, it was a while back. I didn't talk about it much on stream. We dated for about like 6 months. She just like, I don't know, she doesn't come back to town anymore. She got a job over there and stuff. So it's just like, I don't know. She didn't want to try dealing with the distance on top of just, she was just more worried about school right now. It was like a pretty bad, like, probably like a whole month. Pretty fucking bad, like, depression spot I went through, but I'm pretty through it now. What the fuck? Did you see me do that little side shot? That was weird. Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't know. I think I was just more willing to be like, yeah, I don't really care. I'll still do it, but that's okay. It's just a life experiences, I guess. I played lots of video games. That helped. I was still playing Mother 3. I think that's actually why I got back into Mother 3 like really heavily. I started playing it like a lot. Did like a few really long streams of it, and I ended up like grinding Mother 3 out a little bit.
Stay a while and listen.
Yo, Nicole Camry, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good now. There's definitely something I had to deal with. Yeah, I talked to Marin about it a bit. Like a path over here? I'm very confused because the boat brought me here. Yeah, Detta, I fucking hate college because I've had 2 relationships end for that exact same reason. They're like, I'm too stressed out with college. Just like, man, fuck college. I got stressed once and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I dropped out. These people are just smarter than me. Yeah, Gabe, if you're still around, how much is it to have a pet here? I don't remember. I mean, it's only like 2 hours distance, but it's, yeah. I'm doing good, guys. Streaming helps a lot. Dennis said something like, don't pay, you gotta buy, alright, I'm not gonna go up and read that. You'll get more subs on Twitch now that you're single? Yeah, right. Oh, I really didn't know what it was, so that's what was scary. A lot less scary when I realized it's just a stupid fucking Wallmaster. Welcome in, Nicole. Hope you like the stream, dude. Sexy single guys whoring themselves out for bits on... Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I mean, why not? Streamer, show Bob. Streamer, show me Vagine. Get banned. You can be my sugar daddy. Anytime, Blitz. I heard my name. Yeah, Marin asked you a question that I don't know the answer to. Okay. I found a thing I must share now. Thrax, thanks for the $2 earlier, by the way, dude. I feel like I didn't even say thank you. They're about to say, Gain, if you're still around, we can date. Who's Gain? Oh, that's a lot of fucking money, dude. See, like, I see $200 and I'm like, usually don't have 200 spare dollars. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Damn it, Marin. Do I need to fall back in and ride the boat again? How the fuck do you get over there?
You try so hard.
What is this? Thrax, $2. What? No! What? Playback on other websites has been disabled by the video owner? It's fucking Chop Suey by Tongo! You know what? I'll go play it just for you, though. Fucking Tongo, what are you doing, man? Big dummy. Alright. The media shit just shattered for it. Kami, I don't know what to say to people. This is just streaming. This is how it be, man. I'm not a good social person. They know I care about them. These are friends of mine that I've had for a long time, Kami. I've known Thrax and Gino for like over a year. Alright, here we go. Put you up here. Marcus, my boy! What's up, you handsome man? Alright, I'm gonna stop drinking milk now. It's like weird drinking it casually on stream. Drax, thanks for the $2, buddy. Here's your Tongo Chop Suey. I don't know how to get over here. I got to! Here's my alert. No, wait, this isn't my alert. Yeah, it is. It's right here. Yo! Look, Kami, I don't even know what I'm saying, okay? Oh, I know what I need to do. Okay. Yes, Markers. Our man Gino. The fucking madman himself. Okay, no more Tongo. That was 2 minutes of Tongo, can you believe it? Yeah, 10k butt drop. No bits, butts. Gino ripped his pants off like 1,000 times, you know? Must have more Tongo. He's the artist of our generation. Duh! I should probably put my bit alerts back down there. I like broke them for a little while, so. Alright, here's the door. It's okay. I felt bad that it wouldn't play. This media share shit's so annoying. Let's turn it off and turn it back on. Auto show videos. Got it. Now it should be good. What am I doing? Oh my god, that's so good, Rick! Holy fuck, that's amazing. That's Gino, baby. Tonga with no shirt. That's really fucking good, Rick. Holy shit. There you go, Gino. Rick pays you back for the 10k bits. Rick just does these things for me. If I could fucking draw, that's how I would pay you back. So my stream is not... No. It's not a not a good way to thank you for what you do. I just typed notepad in chat. Blitz! That's a baby! Ah! Yeah, I dropped my controller. Oh my god. Yo, Blitz, 9 months of sub. You absolute fucking legend. Thank you so much for supporting me for these 9 months. What are we naming the baby? Bot is cheating me out of books. That's not a joke, good god. Yeah, that art is really fucking good. There's just a guy on the front page playing FIFA. Why am I here? How did I get to this place? No, don't play my voice on stream. Can I fix my panel and everything? Yes. Okay. Alright, there we go. Everything is fixed now. $50k becoming gay? If you give me 50k bits, I'll go gay for a day. Literally what that means is I'll just say that I like the same sex, but I'll not leave the house or do anything. So that way I don't have to do anything that'll make me uncomfortable. Ooh, hit me with that beat. Dude, this is XQC whenever he loses a match of Overwatch. The gay comes to you. The gay knocks on your door, asks for a cup of sugar, if you know what I mean. My baby name suggestion? Oh, I didn't even see it. I'm so sorry. Hey, stupid. Nice. Rose, I'll catch up and I'll read it, I promise. Now you got me curious. Ah! This boss is fucking cool, man. I always like this boss. Come on. Oh my god! He just fucking... No, he gave me the old Mike Tyson. What is this? Dude, we haven't gotten a game over yet in this game. Please don't give me one. Oh my god. Alright. Ah! Oh, nice fucking shot, baby. He's done. Did you mean to say so that's every day, Detta? You motherfucker. What's up with this guy's body? Yeah, I don't... It's very weird. Punk ass. That's fucking scary. It buffered. What happened? Rose, where'd you say the baby name? Oh, my chatbot did? What'd you say? As long as my baby's name is in the N-word, my boss shouldn't have blocked it. Fuck you! Okay, well if it blocked that, it makes sense. I forgot that we blocked Fruit Gummy the day that meme happened. You're bad at was 2 days from now, not this stream. No, that's every stream. I updated the schedule, I'm bad every time. By the way, you have 3 fairies? Right. We haven't fallen down once. Fat Goom. Sounds like fucking... I don't even know what that sounds like. Markers is like just getting off work and coming in. I just realized it's 10:26. Or he's at work still. If you don't get hit, you don't need fairies. I haven't fallen down in this game yet, I don't think. I don't think we've died yet. I know we haven't gotten a game over. Boy, the noble Zelda's Ocarina, as I expected, you have come. I'm Impa, one of the Sheikah. Yeah, I met you. Last hour of the shift, hells yeah. The Sheikah have served the royalty of Hyrule from generation to generation as attendants. However, on that day 7 years ago, Ganondorf suddenly attacked. Oh shit. I got 40 wings on the way, I'm so hard. Ooh. That sounds fantastic, Pearl. Rex is like, wing stuff? Oh. Oh my god, I never... Yeah, her legs are fucking... She's fit, man. What kind of wings? Dude, we all need details now. Fuck, that does sound so good. I can't. I had pizza, and that was it today. So that's all I get. I didn't eat healthy. It's under my calories by like a lot, but I can't get wings at 10 p.m. now. I gotta hold back and just drink water. Give me that medallion, baby. Look at my little, what, PF Flyers. That's what Link's got on. Calorie counting. Yeah, I've been doing it for like a few weeks. Wham, wham. Yeah, I know. Being hungry sucks, Thrax. I overeat, though. Kirky. Good baby name. Nice, dude. We only have one temple left now. This is so sad. We've already done this, right? We had to have done this. I think we did all these. I think we did all these. Yeah. We still didn't play the song as a kid to the frogs. Because it's so out of the way. Opioid Lester? I don't know that that's a great name. 45. Nice, so we got 5 in there. I wonder if I can do the, Yo. I'll give you Timber Days, so in 100 days I'll have my throne again. In 30 days the thing will reset again. But Gino will still have the throne in, overall, I think, for a long time. Yeah, Gino has to stop donating forever, and then you'll catch up. The ending is really disturbing. Gino, why, dude? Is the BitDad thing broken? What do you mean? No, it's fixed. The BitDad thing never broke. I just have to reset it every stream. What is it gonna do? It's just gonna be the sound of pants ripping, Marin. I'll make that exclamation point Gino. How about that? It'll just go... Sound of pants ripping off. Kami, quit egging Gino on. And Gino, stop, dude, that's too much. Thank you, man. Sincerely. Jesus Christ. No, hey, Rick, you can shut your mouth. You can shut your mouth. I want to see if I can do this speedrunning trick.
By the powers of naughtiness, I command this particular drop of hot sauce to be really, really hot.
I'm angry. Not happy about this one. So markers, I ordered some Hot Ones sauce. I wanted one that was like pretty hot because I like hot sauce, but I didn't want one that was, you know, like too hot to eat. I wanted to get like a 6 out of 10 or, you know, I accidentally ordered an 8 out of 10 because I'm an idiot and I didn't read enough. So I got a ghost pepper one. Squirt the bottle in your mouth? I feel like it's gonna be... Oh, drink the whole bottle? Imagine just sticking that to your mouth. Oh, I can smell it! Dude, it like just ended. They're expensive markers. You have the last dab at home? I want to try it, but I also don't if this is only 8 out of 10. You know, I'll give Gino like 3. That was like 4 this time. I did like 2 every other time. It's already a lot. Yo, Gabe, you have to come over and do one. Actually, Gabe's scared of doing that to himself because he had like really bad stomach problems once. Why? Love you too, Gino. I don't know why you do this to me. I already get fucking heartburn like every night. This is probably why. Oh no, it's a chunky one again. I didn't know how to take it. You just gotta put it on your tongue. Oh! That's a hottie one! Alright. I'll go like a minute without drinking anything. Oh, the ones with the bits are so much worse. The first one I did, it was like all liquid. Alright, the game. I have to turn off my chroma key because if I don't, it's like pure mayhem on there. That's what she said. Sorry, I've been watching The Office. I'll do it. Rick, why? That's like a... God damn it. Don't you have to be like... Oh, I remember how you do it. Damn it. Okay. I knew how to do this at one point. I've done it before, dude. I want to do it so bad. If I can pull this off, you guys will see it. Damn it, man. Why are you blowing yourself up? You'll see if I can get it to work. Fuck. God damn it, man. I can't do it. I've done this once and it was so cool. Fuck. Oh, that swallow is worse. I'd kind of forgotten about it. It kind of chilled out for a second. I can't fucking do it. I don't remember. I can't fucking do it. I don't know. I'm literally just wasting my bombs and hurting myself. Ow. I need to go to the spirit. That fucking Gerudo bullshit. Oh, there's my horse. Alright. Until 2 pussies. What are you talking about, Kami? Kami, you're saying nonsense. Another pretender to the throne. Why? I'm not sure I even know that trick. I almost want to like watch a tutorial because I've done it one time before. No, Kami did not expect Gino to actually do these things. I had to bust out the milk, dude. Still didn't fix it. How to... Let's watch it. Yeah.
So we don't think so.
Trust me, I'm doing something cool.
This is the second frame. So on this frame, you want to keep holding ESS and bump as S.
Fuck, man, that's so hard to do. Yo, I did watch a new Ghostbusters show today. Don't waste bombs, we have to. Yo, Nightler, what's up, by the way? Sorry, I saw you come in. I was just in so much pain. You have to be like slightly holding a direction too. Damn it! I can't do it. We'll do one before this run is over. You have to, it has to be like the last 2 frames of your roll has to hit the explosion of the bomb. I wish I could show it off to you. It's called hessing. It's like something they do in the speedrun like very often. Fuck, we need our horse. It's really cool. And you can go really fast. What's it supposed to do? I don't want to tell you. I'd rather do it and show you, you know? I made the mistake of sending a message. Raz, you got the Gigano bits? I'll just send it again. Did you say you're calorie counting? If so, you're doing a good job at convincing me we're twins. I also started last week. It's hard, dude. It's hard, but it's like not, you know? The hardest part is just like eating. I don't. The hardest part is eating. The hardest part is eating less. That's my problem, is I eat a lot. That's what I use, Rose, yeah. Yep. Me, Rick, and Kyle have been working on it together, kinda. No eating past 6 p.m. Yeah, that's fucking hard. See, I only, like, I don't eat before I work. And I work, like, all day, so I usually eat, like, after work. So I eat really late. Alright. Get captured. This is what you're supposed to do. Yeah, kinda, I know. We've been off of it. I went and walked today even though it was like negative 10 degrees outside. I think I actually got frostbite. And Gabe made me do it. You hear me sniffling? Gabe made me sick again. Like, we gotta go walk. I'm like, I know, it's been like a week. But it's also negative 10 degrees outside. He's like, we gotta do it. We went outside and we just like both looked at each other and we're like, let's make this a short one. We did a mile and it was it's the worst thing ever. It was terrible. I regret it, but I don't now that I'm warmer. Alright. Here's the Metal Gear part of the game. Ah! Wow, you are really blind. Alright, I need arrows. Yes! Get me around here! Alright, that's good enough. This part is scary. You have to go all stealth. If you get caught, you get put back in jail. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. You could probably get through it fast. I'm gonna go ahead and do this so I don't have to do it next stream. I think next stream we'll probably do Spirit Temple and Ganon's Castle, because that'll be the end of the game. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Doesn't this just put you back in jail? God damn it. Alright. I gotta remember what doors are which. I've been doing okay right now. I'm trying to get in the habit of putting in food regardless of if I want to. Oh, okay. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that, Rose. There'll be days where like my friends will want me to go out and eat with them, and then I do that, and then I'm like, I'm just not gonna put all that in because I don't know how. It's hard to put in like restaurants and shit. But that's bad because then I can't track it at all. You know? Oh, this is one of them. Hey, you young man over there, look over here inside the cell. Yeah, the workers have been trapped. I have no idea where you come from. But you must have a lot of guts to make it past all the gods. But your boy Bird. Me and the other Carpentards are stuck in all these jail cells. He's in gay baby jail. Oh, watch out! Dun, 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 dun. Why do they do like a little gotchi noise? God, you guys suck way more than I remember. I need to work on the print. Oh, I thought you had it all finished because you were like, please finish Zelda now. Hey! Oh! Ah! He! Did you come here to save me? Oh, that's just swell. I'm Ichiro, the Carpentard. We were really interested in joining their all-female group, but they locked us up like this just because we're men. Wow. We don't care about the Gerudo anymore. They're so rude. Oh, my back just broke in half. Three of my fellows have also been captured, so please help them escape. Go home, fat man. You know, I don't think I use the Begoron sword that much, Marcos. It kind of makes a lot of the like fights in the game cake because its reach is just so long. I remember getting it, but I remember only using it for like Dark Link and I don't know, maybe Final Ganon or something. Okay. Fuck. I don't want to accidentally get seen. Yeah, the big boy sword. Oh, I hit her right in the throat. She's dead. Headshot. They just pass out. They get right back up after like a minute. So you gotta fucking hurry it up. Please, just get up there, Link. Why can you not get up on top of these? How are you supposed to get the stuff up there? Oh, okay. Dermanipper. Thank you, Blitz. Thank you very much. Plot twist: Gino is Percy's borrowing bets from Twitch for promo and has to give him back after the stream is finished. Yeah, just give me a bit of clout, Twitch. Twitch would never do something like that. If I had promos like that with them, I'd also be a partner. Holy fuck. Okay. Do we want to jump down just yet? I feel like there were like a lot of places I could have gone in there. Whatever. Maybe you'll get a Coca Gaming raid? No, I have to play Fortnite to do that. You son of a bitch. I had no time. Yes, I've seen the ads. It's like I don't know how do they find those streamers? They go to like someone that has like 30,000 viewers and makes like $10,000 a month and they're like, here's $1,000. Like, why don't you give it to people who aren't making that much? You know? All those Twitch ads make me actually like angry. Because I don't know. They do it to people who like I don't know. Obviously, don't give it to a streamer who's like has like a shitty setup and stuff, but give it to someone who looks like they put a lot of work into their stream and they like have like an okay following, you know? Not someone who's already a hot shot on Twitch. I don't know. That shit bugs me. Where does this go? Is that new green screen working? It's what I'm using right now. Working good. It's very green. Like, it's more green than my other ones. Like, OBS actually recognizes it as green. The other ones, they're like, gray? I'm like, no, it's not gray. Yeah, it's just like really dark green, so. You get it on Amazon? Yeah, it's enormous. I honestly, I'm pretty sure I did, Rick. I'd have to send it to you. I don't remember how much I bought it for. I kind of like impulse bought like 2 things for the chef stuff. You haven't reacted to that one comment of mine? What do you mean? Yes, I did. I talked about it, Kabi. I said Twitch would never do that. That's how we got into the Coke gaming talk. Woo, watch out. Navi. Did I get lucky last time? No, I think I just gotta get out of that corner. Jesus, man. I remember dying to those things. Not that. What did you... What other thing did you say? What? You didn't say anything else, Kami. Kami, you're freaking me out. Beat the game right now? Wait, why? I can't beat it right now. I mean, I could stream till like 3 AM and probably beat it. I don't know that it would take me that long. Maybe 2. Do it? It depends. Is Gabe playing Overwatch? If he isn't, I kind of just want to chill with him. If he's playing Overwatch, I won't bother because he's already talking to people and hanging out with him. I think he is playing Overwatch, so I have no friends. I'll stream this all the way through if my one friend isn't available. You streamed till 3 last time? I've done it before, yeah. I've done it lots of times. That's just such a big chunk of this game. Alright. Duh! I hate this. You can only climb up this side of the table. He's Papega. It hacked my sleep schedule too. I know, you stayed up the whole time. I told you to go to bed! I have to be up at 6 AM? Well, maybe not. We've donated bits anyway, but you know as much as me, that wouldn't be near that much without me, so what do I get? Wow, Kami. Alright, you know, I really don't know what to give you. I don't have much to give. What do I give you? Yeah, I'll give you a virtual hug. Ah! Did you just walk right here and stop? Special rank in your chat? They give you regular roll, it doesn't do anything. Okay, we're good here. Kami's like, give me VIP now. Kami, I've known you for 2 days. I'm sad. Look, man. I do appreciate you being here. If you can get us out of here, we'll repay the favor somehow. Why are you gliding? Because I have these fucking flying boots on. I don't know why I'm not taking them off, because they're actually kind of pissing me off. There we go. Now I don't glide. God, that's so much better. What a joke. What? That's weird, Rick. I forgot about the Reddit. We will have to check that. I'm Saburu. Have you seen our boss boy? He's probably worried about me. I have to get back to him. One more. Where the fuck is the last one at? Actually, I think I know where it's at. I too added a video on the Reddit. If it's anything as good as the last one you put up there, Rose. I don't remember what it was, but I remember being very, very confused by it. Alright, we need to jump down. Oh, wait. Have we been in this one? This doesn't look familiar at all. It's the same thing every time. Last time I added another video to make up for that weird shit, and I added another one today. Okay. I'm gonna repost them. See if they're like, if they double up. It might just not be there for you, Rick. Alright. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I was afraid you were going to forget about me. Now I'm free. I hadn't even seen you yet. How would I forget about you if I had never met you? Okay. Yes. Rick, your internet's you probably don't have enough internet. I've seen your fine work. To get past the guards here, you must have good thieving skills. I used to think that all men, besides the great Ganondorf, were useless, but now that I've seen you, I don't think so. Nabooru, our leader, put me in charge of this fort. Nabooru is the second in command to the great Ganondorf. Headquarters are in the Spirit Temple. That's sick. You must want to become one of us, eh? Alright then, you're in from now on. You have free access. It's like the Gerudo Pass or something. The Gerudo's membership card. I can go to Sam's Club now. Awesome. Bits Butcher? Alright, I can do that. I'll do it after stream, call me. Just remind me. The Gerudo's training ground. Try it for... Okay. You have one try to do this, I'm pretty sure. This is the key thing, right? Yeah. One of these you have like one shot to do, but this is how you get the ice arrows. Yep. Oh, you son of a bitch. You fucking asshole. Not bad. Not a bad start. Alright. Where's the last one? Oh, there's only two? Oh, that was easy. Sarbin! My mans. Are you guys all playing Overwatch? Oh. Fuck. Forgot about this shit. I remember this hell now. Oh no! Okay. Oh, please don't do that. "25 minutes? Wait, what? I didn't even see Shane say that. Wait, did you just PB? What happened? Shane just started speedrunning Mario 64, if that's what we're talking about. Did you post something in my Discord? What happened? I don't like being out of the loop, man. Fuck you. God. Oh, the fucking white one, dude. I don't remember what this means. One with silver hands? Oh. We don't have the silver gauntlets yet. I like the white wolves better. They're cool. Yo, Shane, you didn't even say anything. What happened? You just came in and said, yo, yo, yo. What happened? What'd you do? Ah! I tried, dude. I tried getting away from the stupid thing. Hookshot. I'm gonna need it. You fucking idiot. Didn't do anything. Oh, I see a thing. Sorry, my furry is showing. But I don't know what do you guys Kami, what are you talking about? I don't even. He looks like 23. Wait, who? What are you talking about? Are we in the same? Are we on the same stream? What's happening? Talking about Link? Link is like 17. What is this? Blind to the eyes of the statue. What? Oh. Sorbin? Did you go to his channel? Oh. That's probably why he's not saying anything. You just went to his channel and you're looking at all these things. I was like, what are you talking about? This is supposed to be one of my favorite Gabe moments on the Reddit. Oh no. Ugh. This one fade out or something? Now this one faded out? Alright. Here we go. Alright. Oh, that was almost tragic. I know, I'm just poking him in the eye. Don't worry, they're okay. This trial part is pretty fun. I remember liking this now that I remembered what was in here. Alright, we actually need the hammer for this. You like don't need it anywhere else in the entire game. Illuminati confirmed person's part of the elite. What confirmed that I was in the Illuminati? Fuck, it's 12 a.m. Says the person who just said beat this game tonight. I'm not gonna beat this. I'm gonna get to the Spirit Temple and then we'll call it. Nice. It said find the hidden path. Oh. What the fuck? Everything I did. Shit, maybe I need to stop doing everything. Alright. Now we need the arrows. Here we go. You son of a bitch. Is that what that does? God damn it. Raid critical? Why would I do that? We shot the eye. Oh, shooting the eye. Look, most of the time people say things in my chat, I do not connect with it for like a long time. My brain is just very slow. Yeah, it's Shade. I was trying to, but it's okay, man. Tommy was confusing the shit out of me because he was asking about your 25-minute run. And I was like, what are you talking about? I thought maybe you posted something. I didn't see it. Gabe greater than Pierce? That's fucked up, dude. I know you like Gabe more than you like me. At least I stream, though. Maybe if I liked Overwatch, then Sorbin would like me. Oh! Okay, that's gonna turn that off. I remember this now. Why are you 18? What kind of question is that? He was born 18 years ago. Why are you 18? Listen, hey, Rick's 18 as well. What's in this side room over here? I don't want to have to, like, redo shit. Oh, no. This is terrible. You look like 23. He looks about the same age as me. Shane, you hurt my feelings. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Can't be on top of it. No, I don't deserve this. I was like, did I play that right? Wow, with the raid, dude. Let me play the song of my people. Thank you for the raid, dude. Welcome in. How is Tarkov? I'm sorry I didn't play with you guys all this weekend. It was one of my buddy's birthdays, and like we went out one night, and then the next day I felt like death all day, so I like didn't want to do anything. And then today, these weekends go by too fast. Yeah, I know you guys will be. That's what's awesome about it. How do I just get Link to like jump into this? I'm trying to get him to do this weird movement he's doing. What is this? What? This is the weirdest movement I've ever seen him do. How's your stream, Ba? How you doing? Thanks for the raid, dude. Freaking always raiding me and shit. Can I post my kitty on Discord? Hell yeah, dude. Put him in Pick Boys. Why do you need them? They always put like 6 in a room, and whenever you collect them, they like unlock a door or something. It's just like a gimmick instead of putting switches. Okay. I know how we're gonna get them though. I think this is the intended way. Beautiful. Yeah, Ba, is that game, like, did it come out or something? I looked into that game a long time ago. Yeah, exactly, Rick. I looked into that game a long time ago. Is it almost out? Oh, early access is out, eh? Oh, that's interesting then. That game looks fucking awesome. God damn it, dude. They always release all the games at the end of the year. Fuck. Well, shit, I gotta look into it then. This is so many keys, dude. Okay, I'm glad we went that side path, because we kind of needed to. Dear God. Ugh. Kami, what the fuck are you talking about? I thanked Gino like 20 times. You're making me feel bad at this point. Get all the enemies at limited time. See, Gino knows. Gino knows I appreciate it. It's because it's a lot from Gino, and I tell him that it's not necessary. He knows I appreciate it. I see a person online, I raid. Ba raids me a lot, dude. Simple man. I don't get to raid other people enough. I hate my late schedule. I love streaming late, but I hate not being able to raid people like Gino and like all these people that I'll like randomly get to pop in and see. I raided Ba, see, I don't know, like last week or something, and it was the first time I've gotten to do it in a long time. Yeah. Have you seen Ross's cartoon? He's been... Purse, I'm sorry, love me again? Nah, dude, you kind of broke that. I get it, dude. Gabe will play Overwatch with you. Look, Gabe's free time, he plays Dead by Daylight and Overwatch. My free time, I play games that are 40 years old. That's what I do for fun. I'm sorry that I'm not cool enough for you. What? Like game over, Rick? I'm not gay though? What? What are you talking about, Kami? What does it have to do with anything? Kami, you're starting to weird me out. I'm not gonna lie. Desert Trials keys. I think if you fuck this up once, you can't redo it. Because it's a dungeon. Now it's a different project? Oh. Oh, the, like, little slime girls he was drawing. These headphones are so annoying. I'm getting a new pair of headphones for Christmas. I ordered them. And I just gotta wait till Christmas to open them. But I bought some, what are they called? Oh, they're like really nice headphones. They're not earbuds. I'll have like a headset again, but they're not huge. I ordered like a very specific one. You need 6 keys. God fucking damn it. We missed keys. No! Gino! God damn it. Gino, thank you for the 69 bits. Wait, are there keys in here? No. I think once you pick the left door, it takes you the right way. Like, you don't have to figure anything else out after. Yeah. Beats? No, I did not get Beats. No, I got some really nice headphones, honestly. Fuck, we need one more key. These are all just rupees. Oh no, dude. We need fucking 2 more? Are you kidding? What rooms did I miss? Kami, it's okay. He can have a weird number. You don't have to push him. He does this. Oh, he does it to me. Don't push him. I don't like that because he already does too much. Ah! What is this? Oh shit. Alright, there's one. Where did that drop exactly? Oh. Don't do it, Rick. It'll ruin it. What the fuck? Is just arrows? Oh, okay. Maybe a key? What's up, Shane? Oh my god, why does this game tease me? Alright, let's go back through. See if there's anything really obvious I missed. Okay, this room. I would assume I got everything. Okay, it's gotta be everything. This room... Possible that I missed something? Yikes. Ow. Whenever those new the points come out or whatever, since you can have like an official logo for them and you can unlock emotes and all this cool stuff with them all. Oh shit, I don't have the silver gauntlets. Do I have to come back here later maybe? Oh, I didn't think about that. I bet it's in there. I have the silver gauntlets? I didn't think you had to do it first. Oh, but I was talking about how, well, we're gonna switch the Bitbucks to the new channel points thing. And then, we're gonna keep the gambling stuff, I think. Because I feel like people really like the gambling, even though it's goofy. Kind of fun. I don't know what I'm gonna call those. We've never been able to spend them on anything, so we're just gonna have to call them, like... Oh, see, this was locked before. I don't know what we're gonna have to call him. We'll come up with a name for him. Okay, there's that. Okay, can we see if that's behind this? There's a hole in the floor. How the hell do you get in there? Alright. Cheese tokens? No, dude. They're not being called that. Anyone knows to which streamer the haha emotes belong? That's Twitch. That's for the holidays. It's like they do like certain holiday emotes. It's like whenever somebody gives bits in a channel, you get like those emotes. Like it'll randomly give you one. You try to collect all of them. So that's how you have them. Shit. Okay, I didn't go up there. Oh my god, I see the key. How do you get up there? I see the fucking final key. Yeah, some of them are really good, honestly. Let's see. We have to have... What? Oh my god, I don't think I ever would have figured that out on my own. I have a walkthrough up because of the keys. I didn't want to mess it up. Just for, like, stream's sake. You know? Look, Navi's turning green there. I would not have figured this out. I don't even know if it's gonna work right there. Alright. I took a 3-hour nap today, so it makes up for staying up late. Rick, your, like, weekday sleep schedule is pretty terrifying, I won't lie. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed to do this. I would have thought that Navi was just pointing at the... How do you think of that? Alright, that's how you get the final key. Now I'll remember that forever, hopefully. Plate dong in lava. I don't know how you were supposed to know that shit, though, for real. Oh. It's giving me so much shit I really don't need. It's such a mood. Okay, definitely don't want to go through that door. Oh, that would be so tragic. Yeah, this game, I love playing this. It doesn't stress me out at all. So it's fun. Not being able to find those keys, I guess, was kind of stressful. It wasn't really stressful. I was just like, I could not remember for the life of me. All right. Oh yeah, man. It's like playing Diablo 2 again as well. I love Diablo 2. Every time I play, I just hear all the sounds in that game. It's like some of the best sounds ever. Okay. A little bit of lag. Yo, what's up, Lancer? How you doing, homie? What's up, my mans? It's always a pleasure to see you, dude. Alright. Jesus, we got it. I'm home. Welcome home. Completely unnecessary item, but they're very cool. Might be in the year with a bang when it goes, hello? Yo, get me away from that door, dude. Fuck. I'm gonna reset instead of doing that. God damn it. Now, dude, why did you make a bit badge with my name in chat? Get out of here. I don't know who that man is. Alright. That was faster than walking out. God damn it. Oh yeah, the knocking? Oh yeah, everyone loves it. Don't worry, it scares everyone. Please don't. I thought Rick knew. I thought you already knew about this terrible account that exists. Why did you do it on there? Why do you do this? Thank you for the 35 bits, self. That door is a Resident Evil reference? Yes, it is. That was the idea, Lancer. It's a picture from Resident Evil. Yeah, Kami. The first, like, while we had it, it was pretty bad, dude. I've gotten used to it. Sometimes it still catches me off guard. It became a joke on the channel because someone sent it to me once and I thought it was real. Shut up. No! Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and get this part done, because this part's boring. Is Majora's Mask after this? No, I'm gonna put up a... Well, it could be. I'm gonna put up a poll, and, like, basically everyone else will get to decide.
Yo.
He's gonna send me the community thing. I know what he's sending me. I know what he's fucking sending me. It's fucking Gabe. I know it is. It's gonna... Don't do that to me. Thanks for the $1 Mia K. I can't see shit! Yeah, okay, what I was gonna say is I'm gonna let people decide what I play next. I'm gonna, like, pick a certain few Zelda games, and we'll decide what we do. And that's what we'll do for the whole series. Yeah, go get some dinner, Lancer. No problem, dude. I cannot see anything. You're supposed to use, like, the lens of truth to help you out, but it's definitely not helping. Right there? Okay, yeah. It's such an unnecessary item. Da 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 da. It really is, though. Oh! I feel like I've never looked at this. Tormy! My mans! Mothers be aware.
Yo oh 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 ooh mothers be aware. Bruce banded toilet.
Banned in toilet. Tormy, thank you for 10 months of sub! Holy shit, dude. You're insane, man. You don't have to sub to me, but you know I appreciate it. Thank you, Tormy. 10 months. You mad lad. Double digis. Man, Tormy keeps up fucking streaming. I gotta fucking sub to him now. I didn't even know you had an emo, and I saw it the other day, and I was like, holy shit. That emote is, it's gold. Wait, where'd that treasure chest fall? Oh, behind me? Danny Dorito, baby. This is so stupid. I don't need this money. I've been maxed out. Yeah, there it is, baby. This shit's so fucking funny. Did Quiz draw it? Oh, that's so funny. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, you need the lens of truth to see him. Okay. Luke! I'll be your guide. Oh, right. This part. Follow me. Don't be slow. Yo, what are you doing? Alright, that makes it harder. Alright, if you like don't follow his exact path, you get lost in the fucking sandstorm. No, but for real, you definitely want to keep up with him. Tarkov stream win? I don't think people would like watching that. Oh no. Everyone's no, it's just like it's gonna be the same thing whenever I watch Bob for the first year playing it. I'm gonna say, what the fuck am I looking at? Are we going? Alright, it's got me right. That's how I still feel. I understand the game fully now. Bro, I want to make you something special for Christmas, New Year's if I can get these arts done in time. I still have your birthday box on my floor. Make first blue socks. My video went to waste? Why did it go to waste? Hello? What Zelda game is next? So, okay, so I was just talking about that. How we're gonna do Becoming a Legend this time around, because I started this project at my old house, but I just moved around so much and like I wasn't happy with like my setup and everything I had, so we rebooted it after a long time of not playing anything. This time around, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, whenever I finish this one, I'm gonna make a poll and I'm gonna put like 3 Zelda games on it. I'm just gonna pick 3 that I'll be like, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing those, I guess. And I'm gonna let you guys decide. Maybe I'll do like 5. And I'm gonna let you guys decide which one I do next. And then we'll do that. When it's Mario time again, this Thursday I'll play Mario again. I usually do it on Thursdays. Not always, but I actually just started like running Mario again, so. Don't you like... Oh no, don't you have to come here as a kid or something? Oh no, this shit's so annoying. I remember this. Yeah, fuck, man. Okay, well, we're not doing this temple anyway. I just wanted to get here. But let's get this stuff out of the way. I vote CDI. Oh, God. CDI isn't on this list. We're doing CDIs as a bonus. I didn't put them in the main series. So I'm going to be playing those no matter what. But once I finish it, a long time into the future. Past, present, future. I vote Wind Waker. I love Wind Waker. I'll probably put... I might put Wind Waker on there. I kind of want to wait to play another, like, one that I really like, though, you know? Put some more obscure ones. Sheik is hot. To restore the Desert Colossus and enter the Spirit Temple, you must travel back in time. Alright. I don't like that quote from Sark. Oh no. CDI games win in 10 years when I finish all the Zeldas. Alright, yo, wacky world of golf? Yo, what about it? That game kicks ass, dude. I'm back with spaghetti and garlic sticks? Hell yeah, dude. Yo, Bot, would love to. What made you think of that? Rec Room of Spirit. Alright, that's the last song we learn in the game, I'm pretty sure. Dude, I would love to. Oh, CDI games. Right. I gotta go to bed before Jackie gets mad. That's fair. That's fair. If Jackie's still awake, tell her I said hi. Fuck, it's like 12:30 there. She might not still be awake. Love you, Bob. Thank you for everything, man. You have a good night. Always a blast having you here. Is Zelda a transsexual? No. Wait. Was that every song? Yep, we got every song, baby. Banana. Bum 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 boom bum banana. You're a dumb sexual Dumbo. We don't need that anymore. No, we didn't get the Scarecrow song. I think we actually kind of like need it for this temple, or it helps a lot, you know? Alright. Yeah, Lancer. What we're gonna do... Kami, we can't say anything about that yet. Eehoo. Alright, our health is kind of ass. I'm gonna use one of these. I want to have full health for the next stream. I don't feel good saving it without full health, you know? Alright, so we'll have to be a kid next time. Let's go ahead and turn into a kid, because I'll forget next time I play, I'm sure. The next time we play will be the final stream of Ocarina of Time. You trapped me and carried me? Dude, I've had these fairies for so long. I've had them since, like, the Forest Temple or something. So you're not going 100% on this? No, I don't think so. I just don't want to... Like, there's 20 games, you know? Great finale? Yeah, I'm excited. Look at these little Jimmy boys. Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna 100% this. As much as I love this game, it'd be unfair, because all the other games I'm not going to 100%, so... let's see. Alright. We're gonna save there, guys. 3.5 hours? Yeah, that's pretty good for me. Find Twitter question? Oh yeah, we have to look up Reddit. We have to look at the Reddit. Link is a boy. All's fair and Lincoln Zelda. Charlie, what's up? Uptime, yeah, almost 3.5. Yo, you exclamation point hours. I forgot I made that. It's like a newish command. I didn't drop any frames, did I? No, I didn't. There you go. This is the top 5 hours now. Yeah, Rick, it's insane. It's a lot of hours in this fucking stream, man. Alright, let's go over here. That is That is my my computer. Did I save? I did, yeah? Alright. Put on music really quiet. Go over to Reddit. What is that? I don't like that. I don't like the blurred image. Alright, let's go sort it by new. Gabe, please. What is this? Wow, this is from, Alright, hold on. I gotta put this next to it and, do this. Gabe, please. Okay, what is this?
From
this is my
downtown
channel.
Kobe.
Yeah, Melissa, I've watched him for like 6 years.
From downtown Kobe. All three. What a fucking shot. This is actually a concept right here. You fucking cheater. Quit cherry picking, bitch.
Cherry picking?
Why did I throw a skateboard?
What's that
Oh
mean?
my god.
What the hell's your resolution?
Oh, Rick, I didn't turn
1080p.
that on. You watched me pour it. It's not fair.
Wow, this is so long ago.
Do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
What is this? This is
Sorry,
really
I just wanna
long.
play with this little...
Little vagina bag.
Ooh, you guys like that?
Fighting. Dude, there's no... Everything that's funny is in puzzle with Mega Man. Stop. Tetris 2, New Zealand Story. Let's play New Zealand Story.
What if you looked at your girlfriend's pussy and it said, you gotta delete this now. You gotta you gotta delete the VOD now. Shit!
I'm out of here, dudes.
That's so stupid. Gabe's one of a kind. I more use this as a marker to know that I've seen it at this point. Watch the blurred one last, please. Can I get some moderation on this before I look at it on stream? What is the blurred one? What the fuck is this, dude? I've seen it. I don't trust you right now, Rose. It's okay, okay. Wide. We got another wide purse. That's a pretty good one. Yo, what is this? Fucking weird. 2 days ago? Wait, what? We didn't watch this, did we? I know this video. Fucking Vanga Boys, baby. Yeah, this is a classic. Frickin' TF2 models. I want to know, this has to have so many views, dude. 26 million? Holy fuck. I was gonna say, that video, it's so stupid. This is the worst picture. Okay. Top quality memeage to make up for that shit post earlier. What is this? Oh no.
What you say now, that Chuck? What? No, I'm just playing. Man, I'm just out here watching all these music videos and shit, man. What if I was rapping about the same shit they rapping about? Shit.
Okay, I was not expecting that. I Is this fucking
Making my way through the hood, sipping this yak. Niggas about to get blown with the Mac.
I've heard this.
Riding around the block with a Glock. Yo ass finna get shot.
I've never seen.
That's the grenade launcher. I'm finna kill you. I'm finna drill you. And now you bleeding.
I've only seen this with GTA footage on top of it. I can't risk another in-bomb. What is this, dude? What is this? Oh no. Thin hamster? He doesn't look thin, he looks very plump. That every meme is funny. Feed it thin watermelon. Continue petting it to become thin? What? Oh my god. The plan is simple. So what happens to it? 1 minute later. What does it do? I thought it was like Mother 3 music at first. Approve. Seeing from the side, it is so thin. How does it do that? It sits so long on it. Seeing from wherever, it is thin, and the music was great. Okay, is that our Reddit for the night? Pretty good, guys. Wait, there might be more AMAs. No. Okay, good. You guys have asked me all the questions you ever need to ask me. You can never ask me a question on stream again. Wait, no, what is this? I'm watching the stream. Fuck this stream. Ooh, woo. I don't like that, but I will upvote it. Is there anything else that slipped past me? Like this one's my favorite. One of me sleeping. It's a fake sleep, but I think that's everything. All right, perfect. Top? Oh yeah. Top of today? How about all time? What is the top? This is the top post in Wide Purse Happy. So new. Okay, there it goes. Now it's up there. All right, that's everything. That's everything. And now that means that we'll go raid a handsome boy. Here's what I like to do with all of chat now. Just go in together and look at the streamers. And we do it together. Here's what I do. I go, who's got... Okay, I can't watch Death Stranding. So we can't raid Matt. I haven't been able to watch Matt forever because he's been playing Death Stranding. Andy. Oh, Gage is streaming. Gage is getting some of those hours in. Get good sleep, Alvia. Yeah, everybody, thank you for hanging out. Seriously. Thank you for all the love, fucking Gino. Jesus Christ. If you're still here, thank you, man. You do too much. Thank you, everybody, for all the donos on the media share stuff. And yeah, I think we might raid Gage. I think that's the idea. So let's hit up our boy Gage. Guys, please, if you got a second, say hi to him. He's one of my personal friends. He's a really nice guy. He's playing some Overwatch. He changes picture to like an inflated version of his face. Don't forget the tag. I won't. Yeah, he's kind of okay. He's a kind of okay guy. Pits pusher. Call me. Goodbye, guys. Have a good night. Love you all.